Oh my God, who the hell cares?
And we're back, guys. Welcome to another excellent episode of One Man, Two Balls. We're back. We got the mainframe uploaded. We changed around some lighting so it doesn't look terrible. Same webcam, but 3 times the quality, guys.
True.
Absolutely locked in. It's Thursday.
It is.
True. I actually had one more Ralph Lauren at my sleeve. So here we are rocking that. Thursday, almost to Friday. Hashtag almost.
Memorial Day weekend. It's going to be fire.
Soon. I'm working Monday.
Oh, no, dude.
I had PTO scheduled tomorrow. I said, get that off my calendar. I'm
Bro.
working. Soichiro Honda, dude, I love you.
Dude, what a legend.
I will come in, dude. Tomorrow, realistically...
That's the power of dreams.
Dude, I'm going to need the power of dreams on my side.
Yeah.
It's going to be probably at least a 14-hour day tomorrow.
Yeah.
But it's going to be chill because I just love... Tell you what, I love God. I love freedom. I love the United States, and I love Honda, dude.
True.
We're powerful. So,
Dude, that's legendary.
NBD to me. NBD, BBG, no big deal, baby girl.
True. That's for real.
How's your week been?
It's good, man. I did, like... What I've been doing is I've been trying to hit slightly above 40 hours.
Mm-hmm.
What you looking at, bro?
Is a light plug?
It's in.
Is there a light?
Right here.
Okay, on
Right
the other
there.
side. Okay, we're good. We're good.
What does this guy do?
Pause the interruption. Sorry.
Okay. They used to call me D's nuts. I'm not going to tell you why, but they used to. Okay. So, it's been a good week, man. I've been trying to hit like slightly above 40 minutes. Or, no, 40 hours per
40
week.
minutes of work.
I go in for 40 minutes, guys, per week. When I'm not at Buc-ee's.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Pussies.
So, starting this.
Soon.
No, so I've been trying to hit just slightly above 40 minutes at work.
Hours.
And, no, 40 minutes.
You're right.
And so like I've been getting like 2 minutes of overtime per week, like roughly 2-3 minutes of overtime per week, and I've been doing like the past few weeks. I started off the week slow. Like I would work 8 hours on Monday, 8 hours on Tuesday, and then I gotta play catch up. Then I'm like, oh shoot, if I'm trying to make this,
time to lock in.
It has to be, 9-10 hours on Wednesday, Thursday, because I only want to be there till like 11 o'clock Friday. Because that's my office's culture, bro. If you're there past noon, you're a nerd.
Ooh.
There's like 3 people that stay there. But the full-time guys...
What are their full names and addresses? Can we dox these nerds real quick?
No, the full-time guys, I think it's in their contracts that they have to be there for at least 45 hours a week. So that's kind of stinky. But you got to think, if you work 4/10s, you're pretty much there. So some people stay till like 4 p.m. on Friday. That's not me, bro. I think I could if I was dialed in enough on a project. But
what controller batteries were plugged directly into the mainframe?
I don't know what that was, but my peripheral vision just caught a break in our firewall. But it's okay. So I've been getting like...
Dude, someone's vacuuming upstairs. This is...
No, dude, this is a good vibe. Okay. This is good.
Hopefully this isn't detrimental to the audio quality.
Nah,
guys, if you hear zooming and scraping, I sincerely apologize.
Dude, I bet they can't even hear it through the mic, dude. That's like through like the other dimensions, dude.
For sure.
But,
I can see the audio levels bouncing up and down, but that's probably
that's us talking, bro.
For sure.
I farted a little bit in the mic.
Word.
No. But so, dude, my bellowing voice, the echo of my voice has caused the audio to go up and down. But no, so this week I started off strong. I did 10 hours on Monday. I did 10 hours on Tuesday. I did 10 and a half on Tuesday, 10 on Wednesday. So I was at like 30 and a half coming into today. And I'm like, oh, bro, it's going to be good. And I did 9 hours today. So I'm at like 39.5. So I just got to go in for a few hours tomorrow, get like, 4 minutes of overtime. and it'll be good, bro.
NBD, BBG.
Dude, for
Yeah.
real. It's gonna be good. I'm
worked
excited.
10.5 Monday, 8.5 Tuesday, 10.5 yesterday, and 10.5 today.
It's a lot of minutes, bro.
That's true.
That's crazy.
Tomorrow is probably going to be 14.5 minutes.
Bro, that's kind of wild.
Saturday, I won't be working. Sunday, won't be working. Monday, we're back in. Monday, look, man.
Damn, bro.
We, on holidays, holy days, we get a minute of PTO time for every minute we work.
Oh.
So,
whoa.
you already know Monday's going to be a dubious.
Wait, that's kind of nice.
It's going to be a dubious day.
16 minutes, for real.
We're looking for 16 minutes for sure.
Dude, that's crazy. That's nice.
Yeah. Hey, man.
Damn.
Yeah. Holidays, holy days.
Dude, that's fire.
Fun fact, the word holiday literally does come from holy day. Holy days of obligation, where you'd be like, boss, I can't work, I have to go to church.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's your fun facts for the day.
That's fire.
You hear about this?
My arms looking big, guys. I haven't been lifting, but they might be.
They might be looking
They
big.
might be kind of big.
Guys, because we've been doing our push-ups, squats, and burpees. How'd you do last week, Xavier?
I was gonna say, dude, I did not finish, so I need to make my donation.
You scoundrel.
I am. I started them last week, and I got like probably 75% done, and I don't know. Like I said, I'm kind of out of shape, so my chest and my shoulders from like the days of bench, it's only 50 push-ups, so it's not that much.
100.
Oh wait, is it?
It's 100 push-ups, 200 squats, and 100 burpees, or 1 hour on Stairmaster.
Okay, yeah. So I think what I was thinking of is I think I got like, I probably got like 70 push-ups done, but I think I started like super late in the week, so I did not finish. I'm gonna make my donation, but yeah, so it wasn't good, but I did run a lot last week. I ran like, I think maybe 10 miles or something.
Had a boy.
That was a lot more than
Powerful.
That was a lot more than I've ran in a minute, so I'm happy about that. But yeah, man, it was good.
We're gonna be cool for the summer like Demi Lovato.
I listened to that song on the way here. That was the first song I turned on my gym playlist. That's true.
Good.
That's true.
That song's great.
That's fire.
Listen, guys, we need to follow up on some remaining items, alright?
Okay.
The cruise ship virus.
Yeah.
Absolute media silence. What's going on, guys?
Yeah, that was weird.
Am I infected? Are you infected? Are you infected?
It's all fake, bro.
Dude, the technology, they're coming for us. Another follow-up. The cattle thievery. The grand heist. No updates, guys.
Really?
Literally, since like May 10th, there hasn't even been a local news article put out about it. So that either means the police are deep in their investigation and can't let anything out, or it's a dead end. Guys, hit that like button. Comment drone 2026 if we should buy a drone and investigate to see if we can find these cows. Guys, maybe we should do a special One Man Two Balls like presentation like documentary stuff. Dude, why are they vacuuming? Are they vacuuming down here? Do they not understand?
Well, we could always pause.
Hold on, I'm gonna investigate who it is. If it's my dad, I'm gonna say please stop.
I don't think it's your dad. What's up, guys? How we doing? You see these guns, bro? I haven't even been lifting, but I want to flex. Yo.
It was not my dad, but great news. We have a sliding door. You can still kind of hear it through the floor, but we have a door closed.
That's fake, bro.
So it's better. Yeah, I think what we should do is we should put together a special like Netflix style PBS Frontline, HBO Max, Hulu presentation and try to get to the bottom of this.
I think we should, dude.
Of this cattle rustling, because that's such a Wild West crime.
That's badass, man.
I literally actually don't know where to start if we were to investigate this. Cause
you'd have to ask the people that got them stolen. You'd have to catch leads immediately. Yeah. But they might be legally tied up too with what they say, because like
if they're part of an ongoing investigation, they might be limited on what they're allowed to say.
Yeah, I think what we should do is we should go up there and we should say, "Hey,
we're the police.
I got your calves, bro."
Yeah, we should call
I got your calves.
We should call the tip line and just be like, coming up.
Hi, officer. 25 calves just popped up on my property. I live in the middle of town. And they're like, huh? And you're like,
Or create a Facebook Marketplace listing for 60 calves.
oh, yeah.
Need gone
nowhere.
ASAP.
Yeah, 50% off.
No registration. If you know, you know.
True.
Swoon.
True. Oh, dude, it's a beautiful day. I think the sun was trying to kill me today, bro. I was driving here. The glare was crazy.
Do you have sunglasses?
No, and also I'm at a nerf because I have the glasses. So if I wear the glasses, I can't wear the sunglasses because they're not shaped right.
You just need to get prescription
I
sunglasses.
think I need to because they would come with some good aura too.
Yes.
But the problem is my windows have like zero tint. Like I'm talking. I'm an official.
Maybe negative. They might be amplifying the light.
Yeah, they're bad, bro.
For more adversity. Good.
They're bad. And so I'm driving. I'm like literally just like gripping my wheel. I'm just in anguish for like 20 minutes or like 15 minutes. And I turned left, and I'm doxing myself here. I turned left, and it was like a wave of relief. It was like a wave of like pure bliss. It was ecstasy. It was great. I couldn't believe it. So, complete jubilation, complete just great. It was life, man. I was so happy. I was like just gripping my steering wheel, like yes, no more glare
from the burning light. Your technocracy is no more.
Dude, true. The frogs are not gay anymore. Alex Jones is not canceled.
Alex Jones does not own InfoWars anymore.
Nope, it is owned by the Onion.
Went bankrupt. That's no good, dude.
And also, Alex Jones does not like alcohol. He does not drink it. No, he does.
Yeah, he's
he likes it.
profound alcoholic, from what I understand. But that guy's got demons, man. I mean, the stuff he's investigated. I mean, obviously, Sandy Hook, what he said, as of now with the current evidence, no good.
Yeah,
Shouldn't have done that. And the after effects that he inspired. However, the stuff on Bohemian Grove, dude.
Not only that,
you
man.
want to talk about Bohemian Grove?
You want to talk about, like, he was only wrong, like, once, and it was Sandy Hook.
Yeah.
Like, that's the... Now, he was wrong in the moment many times, but stuff has surfaced.
He was early. He wasn't wrong. He was just early.
Exactly. And so he's like... If you look at, like, his win-loss record, dude, his KD is, like, a 2.0 for sure.
For sure, yeah.
He's, like, 20-1 or something, you know?
Yeah, certainly.
He's so good. Or what? Well, that would be, what, 20.0? Whatever, dude. Who cares? Don't be a nerd.
What? Math?
Dude,
Numbers?
Dude. I don't care, man.
Get that out of here. This is about pure American 1776.
True. It's true.
Yeah.
But, you know, life is great. I was, as you guys know, I've said I'm a big nerd on here. I'm getting a potential spam call, I believe. Oh, dude, I love the potential spam calls.
Yeah.
I get them all the time.
Answer it. Put it on speaker.
No, I'm
Yes.
not doing that.
Yes.
No, I never answer them, bro.
Come on.
Nah, dude. They gay for doing that.
When we live? Not even when we live for the pranks?
No, bro. Because then they're going to be like, oh, this guy answers his phone.
Nah, dude, they're just going to read your address instantly.
True. No, but, well, dude, I'm in, like, Angola right now, bro. I don't even know. My NordVPN.
True that.
Hashtag NordVPN, please sponsor us. We don't talk about anything controversial on here.
That's
We're
true.
a nice Christian podcast.
I literally just said that Alex Jones was right about everything. But we don't talk about anything.
Listen, dude. We don't talk about anything controversial because who would question us? I mean, controversy is two opposing ideas. If people are stupid enough to disagree with what we say, you don't want to listen to them anyway.
That's so true, dude.
That's a fact.
I've been loving these philosophical debates that we've been having in work group chats. Somebody will just like anything, dude. Like the nature of like punishment and forgiveness and stuff. It just will spawn out of nowhere, and then somebody will ask a work-related question, and everyone's like, "All right, fine."
What about line 5?
Man,
Fuck.
All right, whatever.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
It's like I didn't even wire that bitch up. I just had belief, and it started working.
They told me wear a polo. I said, which one?
No, but so I've said on here, guys, I'm a big nerd, and I was playing some Warhammer this weekend.
Ooh, what faction?
Well, they're not my minis, but I was playing something called the Saurians, which are like dinosaurs. They were sick, bro.
I'm not familiar with those, but I have a very low level Warhammer.
I could show you. Well, they're not really. I could show you a picture. I could pull up a picture and show you. You guys don't get to see, okay? This this is the perks of being in person here, you know?
I'll timestamp it. I'll put it on there.
Yeah. Our guests can see them at one point. But, so, like, these are, like...
Whoa.
Yeah, they sick, dude.
Are those 3D printed?
Yeah, they're resin printed.
Nice.
So, like, look at the detail on that, though.
That is crazy.
So, but I was playing them dinosaurs.
15 minutes.
Yeah. So, 15 minutes. Yeah. But, so I was playing these Saurians, and, dude, that shit's just fun. We play what's called one-page rules. So, like, I guess Warhammer is kind of like, we're talking about Warhammer 40K for anybody who's not a massive nerd. And Warhammer 40K, when you play with, in that rule set, you have to have, like, Games Workshop licensed figures. So, like, Warhammer figures that the company sells themselves. But pretty much what happened is, in my opinion, is back in the 80s, they used to make these figures out of, like, metal, right? And, like, you know, whatever metal they were made out of, they were probably cast, or I'm not sure if it was still, like, little pieces. Nowadays, if you were to buy a box of them, you would get it on, like, a sheet. And, like, let's say...
If you ever built, like, a model car
Yeah.
or a model plane or anything.
Yeah, so let's say you want to build just, like, a guy. He's this big, right? He doesn't come like that, and he does not come painted. It would be, like, you know, 7 or 8 pieces of him that you would have to paint either individually and, like, glue together and put on a base, or put all together and then paint it and then put it on a base. Whatever. So, in my opinion, what happened is they probably got rich because, like, their designs were, like, super cool and they had a cool universe. And then 3D printers popped up, like, domestic 3D printers. And they're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, because nowadays, if you play one-page rules, you can just kind of print your own figures. And, I mean, you could use regular ones for one-page rules.
They're also so expensive.
They're ridiculously expensive.
For, like, the big ones, like, individual, like... I mean, compared to the price of 3D printing them...
No, they're crazy.
3D printing one of them is maybe, like, 15 cents. But if we're talking, like, at all, like, a regular, like, ultramarine or whatever is however much...
Yeah.
More than 15 cents, which is obviously expensive. But then once you get into, like, the spacecraft and the much larger figures, like the Titans and everything, then you're literally looking at, like, thousands of dollars. And a lot of them, too, there's a sort of scarcity aspect to it, where some of these things only existed in the 90s.
Yeah.
So now you're on eBay on page 7, 2 hours left in a bid, you're trying to buy this unopened box from the Philippines. Because it grants you one special ability that no other pieces have.
Yeah.
So
that's the thing that's kind of stupid about it, is it's like, okay. And honestly, I probably will play 40K at some point, but I think it's, like, super complex. That's why, you know, hence the one-page rules. All of the rules fit on one piece of paper, and then you would have, like, a paper for your army. But yeah, it's just really cool. Plus, I think I would enjoy the painting aspect of it too, because you can make the characters look super cool. Like, I would have never known that they were, number one, made of multiple pieces. Like, if I was to look at, like, a Space Marine painted, I'd be like, oh man, it just comes like that, you know? I would probably assume comes uncolored because there's so many. You see so many, like, shitty paint jobs on them. See people with, like, the 3, like, step face or something. But yeah, so I think I'm probably gonna buy a resin 3D printer, and I'm gonna start printing minis and then paint them, and then I'm gonna play with some of my buddies. But yeah, it's crazy because I saw, like, you'll see, like, a figure that's, like, one guy, and it's like, you know, maybe, let's say it's like a big figure, it's like $220 at, like, a game store. And I had a buddy there, and I was like, he had a really big figure, I think one of the same ones on the shelf, and I'm like, how much in resin, like, material cost of resin would you have to pay to print that? And he's like, $20. And I'm like, so you're paying 10 times more for the figure than you would for the material.
That's still
cost.
unpainted.
That's still unpainted, unput together. It's in a sheet. Like, you see, like, this badass, like, dinosaur on the box, and it's, like, cool and colored. And you open up the box, and it's like a sheet, and it's like, what? Like,
holy sheet.
holy sheep. But yeah, so I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna try it, and I think the cool thing about that is we won't stay on this forever.
Yes, we will.
You know, the resin 3D printing is cool because, like, for example, FDM printing, you kind of have to, if you want to build something big, unless it's in multiple pieces, I guess, mostly you have to, like, have one big print and, like, keep it continuous just because of the way the process works. Like, the nozzle has to stay on its path, you know, doing its shit. But the resin, you could just, like, you could have, like, the smallest printer, the smallest resin printer there is, and you could make one of those big guys. Because they're already made of, like, 40 pieces anyway.
Ooh, that's true.
So you just make, like, a hand with, like, $100 printer. And then, okay, print's done. I make another hand, and then I make a foot, and then I make an armor plate. So that part of it is cool. It's like I could buy a terrible printer, or, like, a really small one, and get into the hobby. And, like, buy, like, you know, relatively cheap paint. And I could probably get into it pretty easy. But, yeah, so that's going to be my new autistic...
Warhammer 40K summer.
Yep.
Soon.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Warhammer, to me, the best part about... I'm not even, like, interested in the game.
Yeah.
The figures are cool.
Yeah.
I could rock with, like, having a few little guys just because they look cool. But to me, the worst part is the lore... And the best part is the lore.
Yeah.
The problem is when you get into these like community-driven things, is that everyone just constantly tries to one-up each other. So you just because some of the lore is like, you know, Magnum, Carl, John, to Wolfstein, who's armed with only a knife, killed 1 million aliens one day for the glory of the Emperor, and it's like, dude, come on.
Yeah.
But I mean, anybody who like takes enough effort to like write books about it, I'd say that lore is cool for that reason because of the effort. But some of the like
like the OCs and shit.
Yeah, some of the like Reddit stuff and everything, and it's like he doesn't even wear a helmet because he's so cool, and it's like you're just clearly stealing off of already popular characters and stuff like that. But yeah, I like the little short like mini movies that they make.
Yeah.
And by they I mean probably the community, but those are cool. I like watching those. I definitely couldn't pick up a 40K book and read it because I don't really usually like reading fiction, but like I can consume fiction media if it's like visual, you know, and everything. So I do like those. I think Warhammer 40K really needs like a movie or a series or something, but you would need to drag all these nerds out of their basements because like Lionsgate Productions, not to slander their name in case they sponsor us for the next episode or if they call us the sponsor right now, but I don't think any major movie producer is going to be able to do justice without like some giga nerds. Like apparently Henry Cavill, he's a huge 40K nerd.
He is.
So, you know, he could play somebody and then also write the entire movie and everything. But I do think that it is definitely a super cool universe that deserves more adaptations than like games, books, and figurines and everything.
And it's like, I don't know, it's like for me it's fun because I have friends who have previously been into it. And so I can go and I can play with like, you know, the dinosaur army, and every time I attack, like I barely know what I'm doing. Like it's pretty much the whole idea is you pick an attack and you pick a target when you fight, or it's like each turn you can move like 6 inches of like actual distance, or you can charge and then you lose your ability to attack and you can move like 12. It's probably different like actual 40K, but one page rules, that's how it is. And then like some people have ranged attacks, some people have melee. Long story short, all of the attacks are based on like dice. So like let's say you have an attack that gives you like 4 attacks, right? So, or like 4 hits. So you would take this attack and it has you roll 4 dice, and let's say you have like a quality of like 3. So you would have to roll 4 dice and hit above a 3 on all 4 dice to hit your attack. And then there's some other stuff where like your enemy can have an ability, if they get hit, they can roll to like see how much damage it does to them. So it's kind of cool. But a lot of that shit's also like, if you don't know what you're doing, you're like, okay, I use horn attack on the Space Marine, and like you could literally like your enemy could be like, hey, bro, you're out of range. Or like, oh, my defense is too high. It can't hit. You know, so like...
And then you're like, oh, dang it.
Yeah, so I'm glad I got people I can play with who actually teach me. Because, like, if you were to give me the rule set and, like, tell me, hey, play this game, I'd probably mess up so many times. So I kind of am lucky that I have a good group to play with. But it's not a big scene where we live. Because we're, like, in a bunch of small towns. We're very rural. And so we gotta go, or I should say I gotta go to, like, bigger cities to play. It's like an hour away, hour and a half away. So that's the kind of crappy part, is kind of gotta seek it out. But it's fun, man. I'm definitely gonna get into it. But yeah, you're right. The lore's really cool, and then you get to the place and it's like, just
here's my OC.
Yeah.
He has 1 million damage. Especially,
it's just like, a table full of figures.
It'd be one thing if it were just like OC characters, like if you like added like yourself into like the Twilight universe and it's whatever. But when you're dealing with something where it's a game, if you create an original character, what are the odds of you making it balanced unless you're like actually a cool person? You know, you'd be like, well, I made him as close to me as possible. I'm 5'6" and 370 pounds, so my character is 12'8" and 1,000 pounds of pure muscle.
Badass.
And he's actually the real emperor. The emperor is just a fake emperor. This guy's the real emperor, so he kind of just insecures everything.
Yeah, and I don't really know how much of it there is on that, but I'm sure there is that, like, because the whole lore is like you could theoretically make your own Space Marine chapter, and it would be canon in the universe. So like people will paint their character like, you know, like
sky blue, pink with purple polka dots.
Yeah.
We're the purple people leaders.
Yeah. And so they'll just paint an army like that, and you still have to like stay within like point values and stuff per army. So you probably can't get too crazy with that shit, but I know people do try to pull some crazy stuff in those games that you can customize your army. Because I played a different one called BattleTech, and that's a similar game where you play with like painted robots. So, and that one's fun. It's kind of like you do the exact same thing, but like you have sight lines when you attack. So like when you try to shoot with your robot, you kind of have to get like eye level at the table. And you have to kind of look and try to see from your robot, like if you can see your target, and then stuff can get added to your rolls. Like if somebody's in like a forest, you have like +1 to your dice rolls or something, or like behind cover. So that's kind of fun. But people in that, you know, you build your army, and you have like a robot, but it's got like customizable options, right? So like some people will put like the weakest army ever. And then one, like, it's like 4 robots out of like 20 will be like their elite squad. And they'll have these people outfitted with like crazy shit. Like
20 rocket
like,
launchers.
This dude's got a jetpack that lets him double his movement. Like this guy can like, as long as any of your other units on the board can see a robot, this dude can just like fire missiles at him and shit. So people get wild with that. And it's a lot of fun, but at the end of the day, I think it's all the group you're with. If you're with cool people, it's fun. But I'm excited for that series of it. I think that could be cool. But let's I don't know. Let's get off the nerd shit, man.
Now we're back into how's your 3D printer that you do have?
I do have, but have we talked about this yet on the podcast? Have we talked about my printer? So. Okay.
Is it on the fritz?
So just wait. I got a great story to tell. I don't know if I've ever told on here, but I got a great story to tell. Oh, man.
You need to wake up, dude.
Guys, the coffee does not do anything to me nowadays.
You're drinking decaf, you idiot.
Not today.
Oh.
No. I drink, and also, I discovered today, I thought I had been drinking 8-ounce cups. I've been drinking 12-ounce cups. So
that hardly changes the math.
Bro. So I've been drinking I drink a lot of coffee today, and I had to cut myself off. But now, of course, I was only at work for nine minutes, so I mean, how many cups could it really have been? But what was I gonna say? The printer.
Yes.
So I bought my printer, It was a from a very reliable brand, probably the most reliable and the most consistent 3D printer brand on the market.
Ender.
Bamboo. Yeah. So, oh yeah. So, yes, I got the Ender 3D Pro Max. No, I got the Bamboo P1S, right? And I bought this when I was still at my previous company. So, I was in between jobs. Like, I was unemployed. Best time of my life. No, I was unemployed for like 3 months. And, dude, being unemployed is the best thing ever and the worst thing ever. I think it leans more towards the worst. But, so, I was unemployed for like 3 months. And then I've been at my current job for like, I think like 2.5 months. So, and I bought this like months before I quit. So, I've had this printer for like 6 months, 7 months. And it came, and I bought it in a combo with what's called an AMS. So the AMS stands for Automatic Material System, right? So essentially what that is traditionally 3D printers, FDM 3D printers, will have one spool of filament that they use, and it feeds through, and you put it through the thingy, and it continuously feeds through and burns on the nozzle, and it 3D prints your shit. For real.
Your Warhammer 40k figurines.
Yeah. So that's how that do. But the automatic material system allows you to, if you look up Bamboo AMS, you'll see an enclosure, and pretty much its whole purpose is it can hold 4 spools of filament. And so you can essentially, what you can do is, let's say you want red, blue, green, yellow filament. You could put right there, and you could start a print with all of those colors, or all of those filaments, and automatically it would change which spool it would print from. So it's pretty cool. So I bought the combo, and when I bought my printer, the AMS came like late, and so I didn't fully assemble my printer for like 5 full days, and I didn't buy a warranty with it. So I think you know where this is going. So I bought my printer, and by the time the AMS finally came in, I actually like wanted to put it together. So I put this thing together. The AMS has something where you have to like set up like a system on the back, I think, where like all the filament would run through. So pretty much I fully assembled this thing, turned it on, and it did not work. It like its auto calibration would like go all the way to the very end and then just stop. So I've had this printer forever, have not printed one thing with it. But here's the thing. I was like, when I bought it, I was like nearing the end of a semester, and I was very stressed about my grades. I thought I was gonna like not do well in my classes. So I was like, okay, we can put off the stuff for now. And so that happened. And then I was like, okay, winter break's going to be awesome. I'm going to enjoy this. I'm going to do this, do that, and the other thing. And then my dad ended up having a lot of like health issues that were very bad, like months long. So just to put it frankly. So that was not good. So I was, going back and forth from like the hospital quite a bit. My winter break was like kind of, I was taking care of the animals at the house, and then I was, going back and forth from the hospital. And then I just lost like kind of all motivation for it. So the printer is not fixed. Now, what I'm getting to is this weekend, I actually thought about taking off work tomorrow because I wanted to like get it working. But I think I'm just going to work till like 11. I'll work like 5 minutes. And then I will come home after 5 minutes, and I'll try to fix the 3D printer. I think it's probably fairly easy to fix.
Gotta be.
My guess is it's like one of 3 things. I think the SD card could be one of them, because I've looked it up, and I think even just a poorly calibrated SD card can like completely throw it off. So now normally they give you a good one. Mine might be bad. Number 2, there's a wire that goes behind what's called a poop chute, or that's what people call it for it. So essentially, when the 3D printer runs, it runs and does its FDM process, and anytime it changes what spool it's going to, or anytime it starts or finishes a print, there's a lot of like excess material that builds up. It's called poop, and it gets routed into this like little funnel out the back of the printer, and it goes out the poop chute. So there is a wire that runs behind the poop chute in the machine. You have to take the back panel off for it, and supposedly it wiggles during auto calibration. So I think what I'm going to do is whenever I try to fix it, I'm going to open that up, tape it to the back of the poop chute so it can't wiggle, and then that'll be another fix I try. And worst case scenario, if it really is like balanced and off, I'll take the whole thing apart, take out all the screws, like fully disassemble it, put all the belts back on, tighten it up, and then plug it back in and try to auto calibrate it. But it's got like auto bed leveling, it's got like really good like movement and stuff, so I think everything works right. It's just like one small thing that's throwing it off that I've literally not dedicated more than 5 minutes into trying to fix. So, but guys, the first thing that I print will be here. Maybe I'll print like a sign for the broadcast. I don't know. But yeah, so the printer is not working. It does not work.
Down.
Also, on the previous conversation, FDM is not the best for like action figures and like small minis, because your nozzle diameter size can only go as small as I think 0.02 millimeters or something. So, or like 0.2 millimeters or something like that. Something like that, guys, okay? I don't know what, it's something with the 2, and it's something with the gay units. It's not the English units.
It ain't American cheeseburgers.
It's the gay units, okay? So, it's like 0.02 nozzle size or something. Whatever, bro. Whatever.
It's not small enough.
It's not precise enough to make like
a completely smooth object, because there will always be the layers, and you know.
But you could still make them. You could still make them look pretty good. It's just
the paint. You'll see the different layers, so you'd have to apply like either a layer of primer or like a layer of Mod Podge or something like that, just to give it a smooth surface. And that's too much extra work.
It's too much.
That's what I was going to suggest.
Yeah.
Before buying a resin printer, to like, because that intricate painting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. If you like buy it because you're like, I'm going to love this, and then you're like,
oh yeah. Yeah. No, I think I'll love it. I think the biggest thing is, you see the shitty paint jobs online, and in my mind, I think there's 2 reasons why. Number one, I think people try to rush it for sure. And I think maybe the number one reason, even though I just said number one reason, the number 2 reason is I think people lack proper preparation. So like, it's almost like if you were to change your own oil, and all you had was like a cup from your kitchen to catch the like past oil, you're not prepared for the job, right? You don't have enough area, you don't have enough volume to catch all that you need. So I think people just like don't have the right paint, or they don't prime stuff, or they don't have like the right brush. Like they're trying to paint it with like a toothbrush or something weird. So I think I'll like it. But also it's going to be something where it's like, do I really want to paint these 20 things the exact same?
20 hours.
Yeah,
still.
yeah.
But you have to get one of those like head
the
things.
monocles, yeah,
where it has the multiple lenses that you can flip, and then it has the light.
I think I'm going to.
So you can be like, your parents look in your room, and you're like, yes, and your eyes are huge because of the magnification.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely going to get into that though. But yeah, that's one of those things where I think it's a lot of fun. But I don't know. The big thing is just picking an army that none of my friends play, because I want to be unique.
You should do Kriegsmarine only.
What is that?
That's just like the normal foot soldiers of the Imperium of Man.
Yeah.
So they're like literally worthless. But I'm not sure how the rules work, but they're a sucky enough troop that you could probably get like 100,000 of them.
Yeah, you could probably get a lot of them.
So that would be funny to run Kriegsmarine only.
Yeah.
Because I know some people will use the tanks.
Yeah,
that they have.
They do.
But to just be completely infantry, just to have like 500 Just stupid soldiers that get one hit by every single attack, but then just swarm.
That's the thing is, I don't know how many units really. I don't know how many units can actually do blast damage because from playing this weekend, I know some people or there's some units that can attack from range, and they have a blast damage. So if they hit a dude. And he's around 30 other guys. Yeah. You hit every single one if you roll a dice. Which, can you imagine being the poor son of a gun who has to roll 30 dice to see? You're like, oh shit, this guy's dead. This guy's dead. But yeah, I don't know. So I don't really know how that works, but it is cool. The guy that I fought this weekend, one of them, it was a 2v2 match. That made it fun.
That's electric.
That made it fun. So the guy that I was playing with his models and the Saurians. And that's a good example. Those Saurians do not exist in 40K. I think they're more of an old world troop. There's, as far as I know, there's two. This is the Warhammer cast. Warhammer cast. But I guess there's two different versions. There's Warhammer 40K, which is the year of the universe. So it's set in the 41st millennia, essentially, and then there's the Age of Sigmar or Warhammer Fantasy. I don't know if those are the same thing.
And then there's also Trench Crusade.
Yes. Yeah. So there's multiple different timelines and multiple different creatures you can use. But the Lizard Men, I guess is what they're called in Age of Sigmar.
The Saurians?
Yeah, because they're just dinosaurs. So they're called the Lizard Men or whatever.
This is actually incredible because we are talking about a subject that none of our listeners are interested in. Yeah. And neither of us know enough about 40K to actually be interesting to people who do know a lot about 40K. So we are literally just completely unmarketable, but please continue. No, we will keep talking.
No, it's good, dude. I think people are listening. I think people care.
People are banging their head on their desk right now.
Fuck. No, dude, I waited 2 weeks for 1 man. I waited 1 week for 1 man 2 balls. And these guys can't tell time. They're talking about shit they don't know. And they completely brushed over the topics we wanted to hear, which was the cattle heist and the hantavirus. No. But, yeah, so essentially, I think that race lives in a different timeline. And so the cool thing about one-page rules is you can just play any army.
So that rule's not on the page.
Yeah. So it's like I'm playing with his Saurians, his dinosaurs, and then he's playing with a Space Marine faction called the Space Wolves. So their whole thing is they're just covered in wolf pelts and they attack in melee. It's just hard. It was sick, but playing a 2v2 match, 4 separate armies against each other. There was one guy didn't bring anything but tanks.
Nice.
He brought 4 tanks.
Nice.
And then the other guy had he had squad ambush patrols and one giant ass dreadnought. It was sick. But guys, very nerdy, but also pretty fun once you get into it. If you get into it.
I like the salamanders.
Yeah, they're
the
sick.
green guys with the yellow eyes because they're the only ones that are nice.
Yeah,
because usually
I don't think they're all nice. I don't think anybody's nice.
From what I understand, the salamanders are nice because the thing is in Warhammer 40K, it's just absolute interplanetary warfare. People are enslaved to create armaments for the Imperium of Man. Yep. The Emperor is treated as a god and he's hooked up to life support and literally just a shell of a human being. Yeah. And you have all these Space Marines which are genetically modified for war. They have 2 hearts and 3 lungs. Yeah. And they're just crazy. It's crazy. And if you're an average citizen whose planet has been invaded by the Necrons or whatever, and then you see Space Marines, you're not oh, thank God. No. You're oh no, because they literally just come in and kill everything. Yeah. But from what I understand, the salamanders are chill. Based on one short film I saw where the salamander guy was hey. Well, to a little kid.
No, but I think something's cool, because guys, I'm being very turbo nerdy. So since I focused my autism this weekend to play some Warhammer, I wanted to know more about the Space Marines, because actually, guys, I promise we'll get off this.
Never.
When you play the game, there's a lot of phases of the battle. So there's units that can do melee attacks. There's units that can do ranged attacks. There's units that are like called psychers, so they can do like magic. So there's all these ways you can attack. And so my thing is like, okay, if I'm gonna invest in this, if I'm gonna paint a whole army, get a whole army, I want to make sure that I actually learn the game properly. So I think, guys, if you want to look up like World Eaters, I think I'm gonna play World Eaters whenever I.
Aren't they like the evilest?
They're not. They kind of are.
I thought they just like destroyed planets.
Well, so I'll get to that. So like, for example, I think the World Eaters are gonna be my main faction. If you guys look them up, they look sick. They're gonna be at least my like
Timestamp 45 minutes.
I think they're gonna at least be like my first real army that I like. But I'm gonna play a Space Marine faction first. Even though I think the World Eaters technically are Space Marine
Black
faction.
Templars.
Yeah, they're sick.
Blood Angels.
Yeah, Blood Angels.
Cool.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna play. I could always just be basic and play the Ultramarines, like the classic blue dudes. I have a buddy that plays the Dark Angels, which are green and black. Which
aren't they the like heretical ones? Aren't they like against the Empire?
I think I think they're loyal to the Empire, but they're like very secretive, like and supposedly somewhat evil. So like, but that's the thing I'm getting into. Like, there's so much I could explain. There's so much crazy shit.
Keep going, dude.
But so the pretty much there's like I think there's like 9 of each. So like the Emperor, when time began, he had like 20 sons that were called the Primarchs, and they were like essentially demigod children of him that were like upgraded Space Marines with like unique powers. And then all of their sons, genetic offspring of them, have unique powers. So like the Salamanders, I listened to a cool lore video, and I guess what would have happened is whenever the Emperor had all these children, this is kind of fun because I don't know what I'm talking about either. So these guys could just listen and have no idea what I'm talking about. So the Emperor had all these sons that were like ultra powerful, and I don't know if they got banished from him or if he like cast them out or whatever, but he had to go out and seek them out. So like these sons, these like ultra powered beings would like crash land on planets in pods, kind of like Superman. And you know, the Salamander guy, I mean, these are like huge beings. Like they grow up as giants and like they're like ultra powerful. So like wherever these people land, like they become like insane in their communities or whatever. And so the Salamander has a cool story where I guess their whole thing is they like attack people with like fire and like flamethrowers and shit. And I heard the story is like the Emperor had to like recruit his sons, but he wanted to do that in a way that was like natural. So like he would go meet one of his sons and be like, you know, the Salamander guy, he was in like a hunting culture. And so like his son wouldn't go with him unless like they went on a great hunt and the Emperor beat him in the hunt. And so the Salamanders comes from like, they were just hunting like these giant lizards, which would essentially be like fire-breathing dragons, not actual salamanders. So those guys are like they're dressed in green and they use a bunch of fire because like their Primarch went on a hunt with like dragons at one point with their father. So there's just a lot of cool shit like that. But I think I'm gonna pick a Space Marine faction so I can like play a good mix of like strategic, like okay, I can play the objective. I can do good melee attacks. I can do good range attacks. I can learn how to use magic. The World Eaters, the reason I don't want to play them first is they're like all melee. And I don't think that'd be a good way to learn. Because number one, I'd probably get into a real game and be like, just getting like shot at the moment I went into battle. And also, I don't know, I just want to learn all the phases of battle. But the World Eaters are technically like, they are a traitor faction. They're not loyal to the Imperium of Man. They are what would be
absolute heresy. They
would be what are considered Chaos Space Marines. So pretty much they follow, or their Primarch follows the god Khorne, who is like
pretty much of chaos.
Yeah, he's one of the 4 chaos gods, and pretty much he's like, I guess like the chaos gods are, you know, they're like born of human emotion. So like, Khorne is like the god of anger, essentially. Like he honestly looks like a like classical like Satan.
Doesn't
almost.
he have like a coliseum where he like brings the greatest fighters and just continuously like revives them and makes them fight for all eternity?
I think he does. So
because there's the one like orc guy who I think is like subject to fight in his coliseum forever,
probably.
And all the other people are like, oh, this is hell. But like from what I understand, that orc guy is like, good, okay.
Yeah. So well, the orcs are hilarious too. I love the orcs.
Yes.
They're awesome. But and their lore is
Paint everything red.
Yeah, because it goes faster. Dude, they're just awesome. Like
the orcs might be.
They might be the best.
most fun.
They might be the best because, dude, I could actually talk about this all day because I've been listening to the lore.
I'm gonna go pee real quick.
No, yeah. So, I guess there used to be a. I don't even know where to start because I don't know what I'm talking about, guys. There used to be like this race of like gods, and they were at war with a like group of beings called the Old Ones, I believe, and they wanted to kill these guys. And so there was like this group of like slaves who were subject to like horrible lives. They like wished for nothing but like immortality. So they were like an Egyptian like race, and so they like sold their souls for like immortality, but they gave their souls for immortality, and then they essentially became slaves to these people that gave it to them, and so they were forced into a war where they had to fight these people that were at war with their gods, essentially now their masters, and the same people that enslaved them created a few other races. They created a race called the Eldar, who ended up becoming like very evil and very corrupt, but also like the perfect society. And then this race also created a species called the Orcs, who were essentially meant to be like bioweapons, who were like, they could fight anywhere and do like almost anything. So the Orcs are like, I guess they used to be like much more savage and like much more like brutal, even though they still are. They used to be a lot bigger. But like when the orcs die, they literally are like mushrooms. They're like fungus, which is so weird. They're so weird. So like they die, and a fungus like drops, and they just like come back to life at some point.
Nice.
Like they sprout like a plant and just pop up, and they're like, who the biggest orc?
The war boys.
Yeah. And so like, I like the orcs that can like that are smart enough to cast magic are called the weird boys.
Yeah. Because did you talk about how all the orcs have a little bit of magic?
Yeah. So what I was gonna say is the orcs are extremely stupid, right? But they are also incredibly powerful. So like,
when in large groups.
It might be just in large groups, but I think
because from what I understand,
yeah,
every orc has like a tiny little bit of magic.
Yeah.
So like by themselves, unless they're a weird boy, of course, they can't really do anything. But if there's a large enough group of them, and someone just says something, they're all so stupid that they'll start believing it. And because there's the large group of them with a little bit of magic,
it actually like manifests.
It actually happens.
Okay,
so that's the whole like painting stuff different colors.
Yeah. So I knew the belief thing. So like orcs can literally just like, they're so stupid that they can believe something and it actually happens. So like, and you might be right about the quantity of them. Like, if there's like 4 orcs in like a vehicle and it runs out of gas and they're pissed, and then one of the orcs goes, "Wait, I filled up the gas, 2 hours ago," and they're like, "Oh yeah, that did happen." Yeah. And so the vehicle can literally run. They have like almost like Toon Force. Like they have literally just complete bullshit magic. But so like they will paint their vehicles red because they believe that red vehicles go faster. So when they paint their vehicles red, they actually make them go faster.
Because of the power of belief.
It's just hilarious.
The best orc story I ever heard was they were in a spaceship and it didn't have any windows because they were navigating just off of pure vibes because they're orcs. And again, they believe they're going where they need to be, so they just are. Yep. And then one of them's like, "Hey, we ain't got no windows. How can we breathe?" And then they all suffocated to death because they're like, "We can't breathe."
They realized. Yeah, no, so But yeah, the orcs are hilarious. But I like how they're like bioengineered. That they are literally made to like go to a place, fight in any condition, die, and then come back. I mean, that's just awesome to me. But yeah, I was talking about the Necrons, how they used to be like human slaves, like thousands of years ago. They used to be like Egyptian slaves or something, and they had like a horrible life because like they would literally like die just by the sun hitting them and shit.
They're basically Jews. They're Egyptian slaves. Jews.
Yeah, so they sold their soul to gain immortality and essentially became enslaved by these people. And eventually they got put into a war like from their masters with their new bodies to fight their masters' enemies. And their masters are the ones who created like the orcs and the Eldar and like all these crazy races. And so the Necrons, essentially what happened is they killed the people they were contracted to kill. And then like somehow, some way, they were able to like break their masters into fragments. Like they rebelled and broke their masters into fragments. So now they literally fight with like their like previous master, like god level masters in like these prisms. So they have like godlike power just in like prisms along with their crazy powers. But yeah, so Warhammer's got really cool shit. But I think perhaps one of the worst discoveries for me is like I did not know that everybody was evil. Like everybody's evil.
Yeah.
Like the salamanders, they're probably not like nice to humans. I think they're probably one of the few Space Marine chapters that are nice to
Everything's
humans.
on site,
But
in
yeah,
the entire universe, because the entire thing has been in war for like 30,000 years.
Yeah.
So it's just, if you're just a normal human, you're a slave.
Yep.
And then you're just helping the perpetual war effort, and then just everything sucks, and everyone's constantly dying and invading different.
And it's not
planets.
you're not like fighting like normal people either. Like it's
it's always the worst.
It's always the worst enemy you could possibly think of, and you're just a normal dude with like a plasma gun, and you're like,
if you're a Kriegsmarine, you're just screwed.
And I didn't know, like I thought that they could just like make Space Marines whenever they wanted. Apparently that like it's like very rare. Like so that's why you see in the lore all these people with like, you know, like they're literally being kept alive by machines. Because like
the dreadnoughts. Yeah.
Well, the dreadnoughts are cool because they're like they are decorated Space Marines that like got fatally wounded in combat. And so what happens is they get put in what's called a sarcophagus. And it's like a machine body that keeps them alive.
But in incredible amounts of pain to the point where is it the psychers that sedate them?
Maybe.
They're sedated and they're literally only woken up for battle.
Yeah.
So they wake up and they're like, ow, ow, ow. But they love the Emperor so much they're like, point me to the direction of more heretics.
They're also like PTSD in reverse. They're like, I get to kill more shit. And then, of course, they wake up in, like, a literal walking tank. And they're like, oh, yeah. So they just they have, like, energy swords and shit that they just rip people apart. They're laughing on the battlefield. It's like literal veterans that get, like, put in a giant mech suit.
Imagine RoboCop, but
bulky.
Bigger.
Yeah. But, yeah, like, I mean, can you imagine, like, volunteering yourself to become a Space Marine, and they literally tell you, they're like, hey, this could kill you. And it's like 1 in 20,000 people.
Yeah, because don't they, like, replace all your veins with, like, metal tubing?
Oh, yeah, you get operated on, and you get replaced. Like, everything gets replaced, and sometimes your genes literally don't line up. Like, your genes could just straight up reject you. So it's like 1 in every, like, 100,000 dudes will become a Space Marine. And then you, like, you know, you'll see these people with, like just completely robotic. It's like, oh my god, this is like, it's so dark that it's almost like I don't even want to like it. You know, like it's like everything is like evil,
as bad as it could possibly be all the time. Always,
there's no good guy. Like, there's no.
What do you mean, the Emperor?
Oh yeah, the Emperor's cool too because like I thought he was just like a normal dude, like being kept alive by like, you know, machinery, like you said. But apparently, like if he died, humanity would be doomed. Because I guess there's like this thing called the warp, and it allows all of these like super advanced civilizations to like teleport across the universe. So he has so much cosmic power in him Like, he pretty much is a god. He's pretty much their god, right? And because he was so powerful in life, so much psychic power and everything, that if he died, humans would lose the ability to go through the warp, which means that, like, they could never chase their enemies through space. They would just be constantly getting invaded. It's kind of crazy.
And from what I understand, the warp is sort of like the nether in Minecraft, where
Yeah,
like one
it
block
is.
there is 8 blocks.
It is.
But it's like an absolute realm of just complete chaos.
It is.
So you just cut through it and you got the heebie-jeebies the whole time, but
Yep.
it's worth the heebie-jeebies because you get everywhere faster.
Mm-hmm.
But isn't that like where you can become corrupted by chaos?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that's where you get the Chaos Space Marines,
Yeah.
which are just evil on top of evil.
And it sucks, too, because it's like, you know, you got, like I said, there's like 20 Primarchs. I think now there's 18 in the lore, because I think 2 of them got killed at one point. And so I believe once the Primarch dies, like all of his like sons, all the Space Marines under him, like die too, or they lose their powers or something. I don't know how that all that works, but you know the Chaos Space Marines, they're just loyal to their Primarch. So like if your Primarch gets corrupted, you're gonna be loyal to Chaos, or you're just gonna get like killed. You know, so it's kind of crazy. So your Primarch could like mess up and like pick up like a corrupted sword, and it's like, oh, you're now like
Evil.
You got tentacles growing out of you and like horns out of your head. It's freaky, man. But yeah, it's sick. The game is fun though. It is cool lore. But I wish there was a good guy. There's no good guys. They're all evil.
Not yet, dude. We need to create our own lore.
They're all evil, bro. Dude, our OCs will save the universe.
For sure. I'll just make myself, so obviously I'll probably be the most powerful.
Yeah, I'll be the new emperor.
Yeah, no big deal. Yeah. Tell you what, dude. Today got the incredible sense that I need to lock in so hard at work.
Really?
Because we went through like the software review or whatever, and it's like power's going to be on tomorrow for the machine, and it's like we really absolutely need to lock in. And while I was doing my machine install that got canceled because of the EV cancellation.
Oh no.
My secret lock-in powers, because I was doing some dubious activities. I was working like 14, 16-hour days, no big deal.
Yeah.
Like the first 2 days that my machine had power, I worked 30 hours combined between the 2 days.
Jeez.
Absolutely locked in. But anytime I'd feel like my brain slowing down or get the weird feeling that I should leave work because I've been there for 12 hours, what I would do is get a bag of gummy candy and a Red Bull and eat the gummy candy as fast as possible and chug the Red Bull. And this is the one time I don't go sugar-free Red Bull, just to get hit with all that sugar and caffeine and just like light up my brain. So today I'm like, all right, I have to leave at 4:30 because of the podcast, but I can still do my lock-in potion. So I did it, and I just immediately got a tummy ache and a headache, and I was like,
No.
ow. But then like the caffeine hit me, and I was like, ow.
Yeah. There's a certain level of like, when you get in a flow state, because right now I'm in like I'm in kind of a weird spot because I can enter a lock-in phase if I know what I'm doing, but sometimes I'll be designing like a part for something, and I don't know exactly what the person who's requesting it wants, so I'm like, I can't fully lock in.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm caffeined up. I'm ready to. I know I got at least 8 hours left. I'm good. Like, but I'll be like, I'll work for like an hour straight, literally subtracted from the time. Like I'll look at the clock and be like, whoa, you know. But there's a certain level of like badassery that comes with like knowing what you're doing and being locked in, and like 5 or 6 hours pass and you're just like good. You know, like you're like,
cool, I'll be here for another 6. Good.
You're like isolated from the world. Like, dude, I could.
That's the power of noise canceling earbuds.
I could imagine you at Honda just being locked in. You're isolated from the rest of the world. You're locked in.
I'm in my own sensory deprivation chamber once I enter my gooning throne, dude.
Of course. And you're just locked in, and you're getting overtime hours, and you're making that bread. That's fire.
Nah, I'm working, but I'm not booking the overtime because I care about the company's profits, and the shareholder value.
I mean, yeah, who's counting the overtime?
I mean, yeah, you should be working 90 hours a week, but only writing down like 35 so that you get punished for not working enough hours.
Yep.
Good. More adversity, please.
True.
Jocko Willink, be on their podcast soon.
Dude, I have an alarm that goes off with Alarmy And it fucked me up this morning, dude.
Yeah.
It was like...
It was making you type the paragraphs about the sly fox jumping over the lazy brown dog.
Black bug, a brown bear, whatever. But yeah, it was like all my alarms are like actual alarms except for the first one at 4:30, and sometimes I do not hear it. I don't know why. I don't know if it doesn't go off or like I just like sleep through it somehow, or if I turn it off with like my psyker powers. Mm-hmm. But sometimes I do not hear it. But this morning I heard it, and it's like, if you do not wake up, if you go back to sleep, you will be a failure.
Because Alarmy has the different options. There's like none of them are nice. It's like air raid siren, or there's like the motivational ones like you have, where it's just like, come on, come on, how hard do you want to attack this day?
I think it's Jocko that says that. Really? It's like, if you do not go back to sleep, you're gonna be a failure. And it's 4:30. I'm like.
Instant fight or flight.
And then, you know, if you weren't depressed enough that you had to roll out of bed and hear that, you check your phone, 0 out of 5. You have to type 5 paragraphs.
Start typing those sentences,
bro. Dude, I got woken up from a fire dream this morning. I did not want to... It's not that I didn't go to work, guys. I love going to work. I love paying taxes. But I was like... I don't know if it's because I've been like so into Warhammer, but I was like in some sort of like army, and we were fighting like these sea turtles. So I'm in the middle of the ocean, and we get like surrounded, and we're in the middle of the ocean, and like we're in a part of the ocean where we're high enough up where we're underwater, but we're high enough up in the ocean where you can still see light coming through, and so we come to this spot, and like. One of my squad members goes, "We're here." So, like, I had no idea what we were fighting. I'm like, "Oh, okay." And what am I like? I don't know how I'm gonna fight them. I'm underwater, right? But like, I'm like seeing like cinematic like stuff. Like, I see like these sea turtles like come out of, like I see one vroom past. I'm like, "Oh shit!" And then like I see like one like swim from behind me off into the distance, and I can't see it anymore. Yeah, and I'm like, and. One of the guys goes, "Where are they?" And I'm like, and I look down.
Spotting them out.
I look down, and it's like the dark part of the ocean. I'm like, they're under us, aren't they? And out of nowhere, one of the sea turtles, they're like big sea turtles, dude. They're like 8 by 8. I mean, they're big ass sea turtles. And I see one, and it zooms past, and I remember I just punched it right across the face. And then like
Xavier punches sea turtles, by the way.
Dude, the leader of like the turtles, he was like a monstrous like snapping turtle or something, and like I was getting hyped, ready to fight him, and then Jocko started talking to me. I'm like, "Fuck,
no, you need to wake up, Xavier. Leave those sea turtles alone.
If you go to bed, you'll be a failure." And I'm just like, dude, I was about to be the biggest winner, because I don't get like cinematic dreams a whole lot. Like I almost never get dreams I can remember, and I already know. That was about to be fire.
Yeah.
That was going to be sick.
You'll be back, dude.
I'll be back, bro.
Have you ever lucid dreamed?
No, and I thought about trying to like do it intentionally at one point, but I was so afraid of like sleep paralysis. Because they say that you can lucid dream pretty easily if you know what you're doing. You just have to like literally try to fall asleep with everything but your like brain or like your eyes. Like it's like a very systematic process if you try to do it intentionally. But you're like one step away from hitting sleep paralysis, because like
getting tortured by the daemons.
If you do it wrong, you know, you just got Andrew Tate yelling at you like, "You do not need a vape." Just like in your doorway, he's like doing the dance. But like Hustlers University,
bottom G, dude.
Yeah, so I was so afraid of sleep paralysis because I had seen like stories of people who would like they're saying they get choked by their demon, their like sleep paralysis demon. In their sleep, thought they were going to die. And they, like, end up waking up, and they have, like, strangulation marks on their neck. Because what was actually happening is their, like, eyes were awake, and they're seeing this demon. But really, they're, like, literally choking themselves to death. Like, I'm like, nope, I'm not doing that.
Nah, dude, you just got to hit him with that. You got to hit him with that. In nomine Patri et Filii et Spiritui Sancti, crux sacro sit mihi lux, nam draco sit mihi lux, vade recio satana, numquam suare mihi vana, sunt mala qualibas, ipse venena bibas. Just got to hit him with that Saint
Benedict
prayer, dude. Easy.
No, dude, I sleep with like 2 crosses above my bed, bro. You gotta keep it.
You gotta hit him with that blessed candle, dude.
That's true.
You gotta hit him with that miraculous metal, dude.
You gotta hit him with it.
You gotta hit him with that scapula, dude.
Dude,
it's simple.
I got that
it's
cross
simple.
on me. I got that cross on me. You know how it is. But yeah, so what are you gonna say about lucid dreaming? I don't think I've ever done it. Maybe like twice, completely on accident, like just a stroke of luck. You know.
I've done it twice.
Okay.
The first time was in like 5th grade, and I used to be super into Assassin's Creed.
Oh hell yeah!
So I was like,
That's you.
something ridiculous happened. I've never done it. Like I've never been like, okay, think of a red ball. If I see a red ball, I'm definitely dreaming.
Yeah.
It was just like something happened. I'm like,
I'm here, bro.
I'm dreaming. What the hell? And I'm like, all right, I'm in Assassin's Creed now, and I was just like backflipping off my roof and
That's
stuff,
sick.
and it was cool. And then another time, senior year of high school, I was driving my car in the dream. I was driving my car, and like everyone was in the car, and somehow I ended up crashing into like the St. Henry pool. And I was like, oh, dang it, dude. My car. And plus all these people. And then I'm like, this would never happen. And I'm like, all right, if I'm dreaming, prove it. My car can fly. And I was just flying through the air. I'm like, all right, this is fun.
Well, for me, like I think my cortisol spikes in my dreams because I do have realizations like where I'm like something traumatic happens to me, like life altering bad happens, and I'm like, wait a minute, this one thing doesn't add up, and then I'm like, and I like wake up and I'm like, oh yes, like I'm so happy. But I think I do have one lucid dream where I remember before I was ever able to drive a car. This must have been like, let's say 15 years old or below. I remember I was driving like a car down the highway, and I was just getting after it. I was going like 95 miles per hour, swerving in between cars.
Duh.
Like
Standard procedure.
dude, it was fire. But yeah, I don't know. It was I've done it like once, but we have a friend who may be a podcast guest at some point who used to have very bad sleep paralysis.
Yes.
For consistent amounts of time.
Mr. Sea Turtle, dude, you're seeing him. In
Dude, I was.
He is the sea turtle god, dude.
I was about to fight Zach, bro.
I can't believe you're about to punch Zach.
I was about to fight him. But yeah, he claims, maybe I should save his story for, maybe I should
give a teaser.
I feel like, well, you can't really give a teaser because it's just like one funny thing he would do that would save him, you know? So I don't know if I should spoil. But will he ever be on the podcast? I don't know.
Soon.
I don't know if he would. I don't know if he would want to talk on it.
He's got some points.
He does.
He's got some talking points. We can get it done.
We can get it done. Well, I'll save that story for another day. Tune in for
your tears for another day.
Tune in for the Zach episode at some point. He'll tell you how he fought
his demons.
He fought and beat sleep paralysis systematically. He approaches everything in life in a strategic, smart way, and he comes out on top every time. So
too easy.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Recently, I had the opportunity to lucid dream. I've been trying to really focus on my quality of sleep as of late, and so the only video game I've been playing in like recent memory is Armor Reforger.
Okay.
I just absolutely love that game, dude. It's like a first-person shooter, but it's a lot more lock in.
I know, bro.
Dude, better for dreaming right now.
Whoa!
Yeah,
sea turtles in here.
Yeah, but it's a lot more tactical with like you need to capture bases and everything, and a single match can last like 7 hours.
That's my shit right there.
Yeah. But the dream was I was driving in a car in that game with Zach and Kane, and we were driving, and there's a few different maps, but literally the only one we play is Everon, and like there's one central objective, Montignac, and that's like where the action's constantly happening, and we were driving to Montignac, and I remember being like, it was so nerdy how I realized that I was dreaming too, because I'm like, this isn't the way to Monty, and they're like, yes it is, and I'm like, no it's not, and we were like driving in like New Bremen, and I'm like, oh we're dreaming right now,
That's
or
awesome.
I'm dreaming, and then I was like, I don't really want to even mess with lucid dreaming right now, dude, just let me sleep, please. So then it just went back to the normal dream of being an armor reforger. But like I completely denied lucid dreaming, and I remember being like, I just want to sleep, man. So
dude, sleep
just
is
none of that nonsense.
Sleep is crazy, dude. Like it's wild that you like see stuff vividly because you really do.
Your brain is still going, dude.
At least you think you do. I mean that's.
What do you think? Do you think you're entering a more susceptible realm to the spiritual?
Nah, I don't believe in that. But I think what is crazy is, like, imagination. Like, bro, how does your brain store that?
Yeah.
You know? Like I can...
In this RAM shortage, how?
Or, like, for example... Yeah, that was fire, by the way.
Thank you.
So
Yes.
I used to play a game called Realm of the Mad God. And it's like a what you'd consider to be like a bullet hell game, I guess, where you have like a character and you can shoot projectiles with your weapon, right? Like pixel projectiles, and then you have to dodge the enemies like projectiles. But it's called a bullet hell because by the time you get into like big dungeons and shit, it's projectiles everywhere, like different patterns.
Precise movements.
Yeah, so you have to be precise and like not die, and it's permadeath, right? And so I was like, I just got back into playing the game. I probably haven't played the game in like 5 years or something. And there was like bag rarities, like different stuff that could drop from certain enemies. And I used to know a lot of the stuff. Since the game has gone on, I don't know a lot of the new items and stuff. But I was seeing a guy play on YouTube because I was watching a video of it. And you could get what's called like STs as a rarity. So like you would know, like there was a different amount of bags. So like you could get like a brown bag, a pink bag, a purple bag. And those are all like terrible. Like those are like very common items and stuff. But you could also get like orange bags, which hold like STs, which are tier sets. And then blue bags, which are like high tiered items and like upgrade materials. And then like white bags, which are like really rare shit. And so this guy was fighting an enemy called like, I think called the Ghost King, maybe the Lich, one of the two. I think it was the Lich. And what used to happen is you could fight the Lich, and he would spawn like these like witches or something, like whatever it was, and they could drop STs. And I used to know like everything that they dropped. And I know that this guy was like hoping for like a robe. He wanted like the robe from the set. I did not know the name of that offhand. But I remember he went over to the bag and I could see the icon of the item he got. And it didn't have the name yet. And I was like, oh man, he just got the phylactery. And he hovered over the name and it was the phylactery. I'm like, how did I know that?
Yeah.
I haven't played this game in forever. And I knew, because it wasn't even a good item either. I just knew the name somewhere. And I'm like, that is the weirdest shit.
Yeah, the way your brain does all that.
It's literally just like, that's fascinating to me. Because I have not thought about that in literally like 5 years. And it's just like a green orb. It's like a weapon. It's not good. There's no reason I should have remembered it. But I'm like, oh, he just got the phylactery. And he over I was like, what the
Ball
fuck?
knowledge.
Dude, that's crazy.
Ball knowledge.
Because that stuff can happen with like anything. Like you could, I don't know.
It happens a lot to me with lyrics. Like I'll not listen to a song.
Yeah.
I don't consider myself, but other people consider me. I'm very humble, guys. Other people consider me very good with remembering song lyrics. Hey, dude, listen. I won the award for being the most humble person, and I gave it away because I didn't think I deserved it. All right. But like a song I haven't listened to in 3 years will come on, and I'll still be like, like singing the lyrics. But like if you ask me, hey, what are the lyrics to September by Earth, Wind and Fire? I'll be like, like I want it, but if the song comes on, I'm like,
you can sing it, yeah.
Like I don't. My brain just needs like a cue, and then I'm like,
what's weird for me is like I've always been pretty good. Like I was never great at math innately. Like mainly just because I never gave a shit. But I was always like when I was a kid, I was really good at spelling and vocabulary, and I liked that because I would like read books as a kid. And I like kind of took pride in it, I guess, because I was always a good speller. And even to this day, like I mean, obviously I type stuff all day, but I could see stuff without spell check, and just looking at it, I know it looks wrong. Even if I, like, let's say I were to like misspell secretary for whatever reason, I could look at the word secretary and be like, nah, that's not it.
Yeah.
You know?
Listen, as somebody who got a 35 on the literary section of the ACT.
That's fine.
Yeah. Language arts has always been one of my largest skills. I've definitely dropped off just because, like, I used to just blast through books and everything, but I don't know. I'm trying to get back into it and everything, but, like, just the vibes of grammar. Like, I was never good at identifying the subject or the predicate or any of the technical stuff. But like I can look at a sentence and be like, no, not right. But any of the technical stuff, no. Like spelling, always good. Reading, good. Grammar, good. But if you ask me to identify like the specifics of everything, I can't do it.
Watch. Sorry, I'm trying to change my watch's time.
You're good. Like I can properly use colons and semicolons in writing and everything, but like if you ask me why, no.
Well, I think that's something too. It's like if somebody were to be like, what is the definition of a predicate? I could not tell you.
Yeah.
But I can use a predicate completely grammatically correct wherever it's needed, right? So it's like, okay, do I really know it? Maybe not, but who really gives a shit?
Yeah, you know it on a low operating level to the point where you're able to be grammatically correct.
Yeah.
So, because that's something that upsets me. Like, people will spell stuff wrong or pronounce stuff wrong.
Yeah.
And you'll be like, hey, whatever.
Yeah.
Grammar Nazi, hey, that was wrong, whatever. And they're like, well, you knew what I was talking about, right? And it's like, oh, that's so not a good way to go about this, you know? Because, like, writing and everything in speech used to be such like a higher art form when literacy was lower, and now literacy is on the decline, which is so weird to think about.
Well, it's
these kids, they can't read. They can't read.
They can't, bro. Well, the thing that sucks is like, well, no, I'm not gonna bring Warhammer up again, but
I don't even know where you would be pulling that.
So I got something real quick. So, we talked about the Eldar earlier. They were created by the same people who made the orcs.
Yeah, if you're somebody who just skipped through all the Warhammer stuff, too bad. Landmine!
Yeah, that was gay, but we're going back to it. So, the same guy who made or the same people, I should say, that made the Necrons and the orcs made something called the Eldar. So, these people were, like, extremely successful, beat the living hell out of their enemies in, like, single combat all the time. They were so successful as a society and a race that they just like got comfortable and they got complacent, and they literally got so like their debauchery was so bad.
Sodom and Gomorrah, guys.
Yeah. So they were disgustingly like sinful and stuff, you could say. And so there's, like I said earlier, there's 4 chaos gods. There used to only be 3. They spawned a chaos god.
That's got to be a bad feeling.
Because they were so, like, hedonistic and disgusting.
They were being naughty bees, for sure.
So I'm not even going to say what the god is called because it's, like, all the models are kind of disgusting. They're based on, like, sex and, like, all that kind of, like,
debauchery.
Yeah. It's just gross shit.
Sinful.
Sinful stuff. And so that god got spawned, killed every member of that race, essentially, except for a very few people. Pretty much what I was saying is, we've gotten to a point in human history where it's like, we used to hunt for food, and like...
Now we food for hunt.
We food for hunt. We hunt for... We fish for hunt, We catch for fish. Mm-hmm. But it's like, you could literally... We are the only species on the planet that dies because we eat too much. Mm-hmm. The only one.
Yeah.
And it's like, we have so much excess in our lives that it actually decreases the quality of our life by a huge margin. So it's like, we've gotten to a point where it's like, yeah, it's, for example, like, everybody knows how to drive a car. Mm-hmm. And so everybody, like, thinks they're big shit because, like, oh, man, I can drive a car. But, like, you didn't contribute to the...
development of the vehicle.
To the development of the vehicle. Like, for me...
I did.
You did, bro.
For cars that'll come out in, like, 2 years. Trust.
Yeah. But it's odd. It's like there's a famous email out there from Steve Jobs that's like, I consume food that I don't make. I speak a language I didn't create. Like, and he pretty much was, like, saying... I think it was, like, a year before he died. He's, like... And then it ends with, like, sent from my iPhone. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, dude, that's fucking awesome. Because it's literally his iPhone. But... it's like, we've gotten to a point where, it's like you said, speech and stuff used to be a literal, like, right. Like, or not even a right, it used to be, like, a luxury.
R-I-T-E.
Yeah.
Right, dude, because, listen, man, the Black Plague completely destroyed Europe, and this is, listen, man, you want to talk about biased history? The Dark Ages were not the Dark Ages, dude. If you look at any of the like medieval cathedrals that were built that are still around today,
Badass.
those were built during the Dark Ages.
Gothic.
What else was done during the Dark Ages, guys? All of like the plague and everything just smoked Europe and everything to the point where like literacy literally only existed like within the church, and you can basically thank the Benedictine monks for any of like the Greek philosophy that still exists, like as far as like them copying the manuscripts and everything. And guys, the Dark Ages were not the Dark Ages. There was a lot of excellent science that was going on. This is just the product of our atheist society trying to knock down the pillars of the church. Sometimes, literally, guys, you have a lot to thank the Catholic Church for. No matter how much you hate it, no matter how much you think it's silly and sucks and whatever. Literally, English didn't exist. English is a Christian language and all that.
It's true.
And all of the science and stuff. Literally, the Big Bang Theory, which is sometimes used as an antithesis to God existing, was a theory of the creation of the universe that was first put forth by a Catholic priest. Because, like, God is so great, literally, only a Big Bang, only, like, because the Big Bang thing is from nothing to something. Yeah. And he's like, truly, this would take an act of God.
It would, because the mathematical probability, and honestly, that's my opinion. It's like, okay, people are going to say, like atheists are going to say, yes, this happened completely by chance. And it's like, okay, well, how could that have happened? Well, all of these plants were created by chance. The universe is ever expanding. All of these single-celled organisms somehow landed on this planet, which then took an incomprehensible amount of time to then evolve into the creatures that we now are. And it's like, all of that happened by complete chance. Like nothing you consume in your life ever happened by chance. Like, none of the food that you eat was ever, like, cooked because the ingredients were like made by chance. Like everything that you consume, the chair you sit on,
everything has an intelligent design.
Everything
that was created by humans, and people are like, all right, chill. But then you're like, everything in nature also has an intelligent design. And like, hey now, like that's ridiculous to them. But that's
natural.
That's well, it's actually completely random chance. There's no way that the plants that take in the carbon dioxide that we breathe and create the oxygen that we need to breathe. That sort of perfect relationship completely by chance. Surely there's no loving God out there who wants me to be happy.
Yeah, and it's also like, you look at like, now, in the scale of the universe, I'm sure these distances are like astronomical in truth, but compared to the size of the Earth in relation to the sun, if we were like a margin further, we would freeze to death. If we were a margin closer, we would literally not exist because we would burn to death. And it's like, okay, so we're on a planet that perfectly suits our needs, that follows an extremely complicated pattern, every certain amount of, well, I guess time is like kind of a human understood concept, so we kind of created that, right? But, or at least our understanding of it. But, dude, nothing's by chance, man. Like, I feel like if it were all by chance, you would look at the moon and there'd be dudes on there. Like you would look at like a telescope and you'd be like, oh, there's just dudes there. They breathe that.
Yeah, they just got lucky. Random chance.
They breathe that gas, but it's like, no. Supposedly we have like all of these super advanced space tools. Never found a single bit of life, intelligent life. At any point in the entire observable universe. It's like, yeah, we're the only ones.
Listen, man, atheists are literally just orcs from Warhammer 40k.
Yeah, but dude, they make stuff happen. They believe it and it happens.
Yeah, dude.
They put it on Twitter and it happens.
That's true, dude. They live in a wheelchair robot and they talk about black holes. They make that happen.
Or failed space marine.
They force... Yeah, dude, Stephen Hawking was just a failed space marine. Glory to the Emperor.
And then, yeah, I mean, dude, it's crazy.
And that whole thing, that's a very interesting thing that I think we're seeing happen a lot in our generation specifically, is everyone kind of got their... I think that, in the 1960s to 1970s and everything, with the whole sexual revolution and all like prayer being taken out of schools because
Yep.
the Supreme Court is like, it's not in the Constitution, sorry.
Mhm.
All of that stuff. You see that generation sort of gets a run of the world,
Mhm.
and then their children are the millennials who have grown up in that, and they're like, you get Rick and Morty, basically. You get
Yeah.
like, oh, nothing matters.
Yeah.
Actually, love is just chemicals and all that gay stuff. And then now you have Gen Z, which grew up spiting millennialism
Yeah.
to the point where I think our generation is coming back in a big way on like traditionalism and everything. Because like, I'm kind of being,
Oh, dude, people.
I'm being broad with my Gen Z-ness, but like people who are having kids now, they're like, oh, I want to homeschool them. I want to stay at home. You know,
Yeah.
I want to, homestead, all that.
Yeah.
And in the exception of when it's just pure Instagram influencer nonsense.
Yeah.
But even that means that there's an interest in these traditional things. And I think that we could be swinging back in a good way, in a big way, in a soon way. And I think, because, Christian, Catholic, every conversion is up in Christianity. Specifically, the Catholic Church has seen a huge increase. I mean, every Easter, the night before Easter Saturday is the Easter Vigil, where all of your converts are officially brought into the church. And there's a lot of Easter vigils. 'Cause, I've been to, admittedly, probably like 4 in my life. And a lot of times it's just the Easter Vigil Mass, and there's nobody new being brought in.
Oh, yeah.
But then this year, like, every diocese is seeing, like, at least, like, 2 or 3 people. Or, like, in the case of when my girlfriend converted on Easter Vigil, there were, like, 30 people. And
wow.
It's like, yo!
That's a
like,
lot, yeah.
Yeah, and even in, like, large areas like Notre Dame, they had like 36, and it's like, dude, how does Muncie, Indiana have almost as, you would think Notre Dame would blow them out of proportions,
Right.
but even just like random parishes,
Yeah.
But again, nothing happens by chance, so is it random?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of just, once I got away from a lot of the politics stuff, like I said, we've talked about this, it was driving me kind of crazy. So I kind of...
You should get back into it, so it's more interesting for the podcast. You should lose your mind for the focus of
we gotta get views first, then I can do it. For now, I get to try to convert you guys into nerds. But the 3 people watching this
soon.
But yeah, it's so I kind of I let people do what they want. Like I used to care a lot about like people's identities and people's beliefs, and I'm like, how could you believe this? Like, who are you? What are you doing? And like now I'm like, I'll see somebody doing something I don't like or I don't agree with or I don't understand. And I'm like, you know what? They got a limited time here too. But yeah, I mean, I'm fully Christian, and I believe in heaven and all that. But I do see, we've talked about this, I think it's just better to believe in God, right? Because, God forbid, let's say, there is no afterlife, right? You live your life trying to like pursue a life of like a loving life. You're dedicating yourself to like what you believe to be good values. You're treating people nice. In my opinion, I've talked to people about like the fear of death and stuff, and I'm like, even if I don't go to heaven or hell or whatever it is, hopefully heaven, right? Mm-hmm. But even if I don't go to something else, I'm like, 60 years ago, both of my parents didn't exist on this planet, and to me, I was blissfully unaware. Mm-hmm. Like I didn't exist. So I'm like, I can't really be scared of something that like I'm essentially going back to the same state I was, where I was before I was born, if that makes sense. Like sometimes when your brain realizes it's gonna die, it's like, oh shit, like internal panic. Like your brain is like a literal problem solving machine is essentially what it is, what you are, and it's like, this is the one problem I can't solve, no matter what. But it's also like, bro, you've been there, in a way. Yeah. In my opinion. I'm like, you can't really be scared of something like that. I mean, it's unfathomable, but it's also like, it's okay.
You just go into the sweet release.
And you can't do anything about it. That's another thing. I think, like, I always think about my problems. I'm like, okay, can I change this? Okay? And if I can change it, it's not really that serious.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can't change it, if I have no effect on it, there's no point in trying to like, think about it.
Micromanage a macro problem.
Yeah, you can't it's almost like if I were to look at my shirt and I'm like, okay, I have like a salmon colored shirt. I want this shirt to be blue. How can I make this shirt blue? And it's like, bro, you can't. There's nothing in this moment I can do to make this shirt blue, so I'm not going to worry about it. Mm-hmm. It's like some things just happen, and that's it.
Yeah, and just to touch on something you said earlier, you basically revived Pascal's gamble, it's called. This is the same Louis Pascal who's the father of hydraulics. Yeah. So, holla, guys, if you love forklifts as much as me, you got Louis Pascal. Dude. But he published a thing called Pascal's gamble where he's like, all right, so there is either a God or there is not. Okay, so if there is a God, I obviously want to please him. All right, cool, he gave me all these rules, Bible and everything. All right, I'll do this. What does it tell me to do? It says to believe in God because faith is important. All right, easy. I believe in God. Oh, what's this? It says faith without works is dead. Crap. Okay. I should follow Jesus's public ministry and everything and be a good boy. So I'm a good boy now, and I've established wells for these people. I've given them food and everything, and then I die.
Yep.
Oh, there's no God. Dang it. All right. But what did I leave behind? All these great fruitful works.
Yeah.
Okay. And if there is a God, I'm in heaven. Sweet.
True.
All right. Now, if I live my life as if there's no God and I'm just completely selfish, either poof, all right, there's no God, chill, or yikes.
Yeah.
Sorry. I was kind of doing my own thing just because I wasn't completely convinced whether you exist or not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, yeah, I don't know. There's that for sure. And it's like, I think you just got to feel that spirit, bro. You got to feel that Holy Spirit, and you got to be like, oh, yeah, there's no way.
Also, something lame. I don't know. There's a weird thing, like maybe 5 to 10 years ago, where everyone just got super into having trauma, whether they had it or not. And people talk about religious trauma, and it's like your parents made you wake up at 9 a.m. on Sundays. That's your trauma.
There's that. I think some people's is more serious. You get into certain stuff where it's maybe there was a weird pastor or maybe they their parents didn't treat them in a nice way, and they paraded themselves as super Christian. I think that does happen for sure, but I would argue for sure that it's very much in the minority, and it's like I said, there's a lot of people out there who I think are very damaged. It's like comedians, for example. They're there's a lot of comedians out there oh, I'm not gonna get on my knees and pray to another guy this guy wants to send me to heaven just because I worship him. Fuck that. It's yeah, but there's more. There's more. Yeah. There's so much more.
And that's the thing too, because
and it's also a choice. It's hey, or I'll let you talk in a second. My thing is okay, there's this God that's created you literally in His image, perfectly in His image. You are essentially one of the most important things on the planet, if not the most important thing on the planet. Not to be human superiority, but kind of, right?
Yeah.
And so it's you're made in His image, and at some point He's you know what? I think I'm going to give these guys free will. I'm going to let them think what they want, do what they want. That's the whole point of the religion. It's this is a choice. Yeah. It's hey, and I guess the way that I interpret hell is it's just absence from God.
Yeah.
But everything that in my opinion, is created from God. Mm-hmm. So you being in hell would be absence from everything bad and good you ever knew.
Well, God is pure good and pure justice.
Yeah.
So absence of God is no justice and no good. So you're in a realm of literally injustice and only bad things.
Yeah, and so it's you look at it like that, and I'm I guess I'm probably not well studied enough to know how hell is actually supposed to be in the Bible. If it's because I've heard a lot of people get the misinterpretation of Dante's Inferno and stuff where it's the gnashing of teeth and the the fires, and it's I'm sure it's not fun, but whoever knows, whatever. I'm sure I'm not studied enough, right? But what I do know is it's like, at the end of the day, the whole religion's like, hey, you get to choose if you're coming or not. You know, if you want to be here, you believe in me, you worship me, and you're coming with me, you know? Or it's like, hey, I created you. I gave you this life, this free will. Go do what you want, but don't expect to come with me when you go. Like, that's the way I interpret it.
And, you know, that's how much God loves you. He gives you the choice to not.
Yeah.
You know, like, listen,
like
we're both cat owners.
Yeah.
Dude, love kitty cuddles. Sometimes the cat wants to run out of your room. You say, "Get back here, mister," and you grab him. How much good love are you giving that cat by not giving it a choice to love you?
That's true.
You know, you are loving the cat more by being like, all right, he doesn't want to snuggle with me. That's fine. Go do your own thing, dude. Go like stalk a mosquito or something.
True.
You know, that's more of a perfect act of love.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, and then you get to the topic. It's like, okay, why would so many people die for like a cause that like
isn't
like,
real?
That isn't real. It also goes completely against man-made desire.
Yeah.
Like humans are the most consuming species on the planet by far, right? We consume more on a personal basis than, you know, multiple animals of any species, yada yada yada. And against nature, you know, like we actively take from like the health of our planet, yada yada yada. And it's like, okay, you know, everything that's said in this religion goes completely against what you want to do.
Yeah. If you were to create a religion, wouldn't you be like, eat pizza and go to Hooters constantly?
Dude, get off work and go drink some beer, bro.
Yeah. Work, drink beer, and watch the UFC, dude.
Dude, that's a good life. No, but, yeah, so I think, for me, that's it. That's all I have to know.
Especially once you get into, like, here's the thing, too, is, like, people who are like, oh, I don't believe in it, you know, it's whatever. Like, what are they doing? They're just, like, living a slug life. Well, often people, almost every time, research their way into it.
Yeah, well, I think, I don't think it's, like, I don't know if it's, like, a meaningless life, you know, because, like, I think a lot of people, the way that they think about it, it's like, okay, I came here against my own free will. Like, jeez, my, like, jaw just cracked. I don't know, that was, like, weird.
Mossad, dude, they're getting you.
Dude, I'm gone.
It's too much of a hot cast.
That was wacky. But, dude, guys, I just got, like, the wildest ASMR you've ever heard in your life. It was like, but, it was like a crack. But, it's like, a lot of people are like, okay, I was born here against my will, number one. Can't do anything about that. I'm gonna die, right? Guaranteed. And then a lot of people, I think, are discouraged by, like, well, let's take, for example, somebody successful, right? Like a comedian, what's his name? Pete
Davidson.
Pete Davidson. Like, that dude's definitely atheist, right? And he kind of, in my opinion, probably floats through life doing stuff he likes. Like, he probably lives a pretty fun life, I would assume, right, for himself. But, you know, in his opinion, his life probably isn't meaningless because he's like, hey, I have to be here. I'm going to die, so I may as well do what I like. And then it's like, okay, you know, it's, you could say there's no purpose, but it's also like, what purpose? What purpose is there supposed to be, you know, when you're not there to be, when you're not there again,
creating your own purpose.
For your own free will, is what I mean. So it's kind of crazy, but
and when you get into like when you're doing your research into it, the history of the church and everything, that's the cool thing about it existing for 2,000 years is you get a lot of cool history. And once you get into like the early church martyrs, dude, they're getting bucked up. Like, if you look at the
people were getting killed. And
if we're gonna talk apostles, you know, I'm gonna say 12. I'm not counting Judas because he's a snitch. One of the first things the remaining 11 apostles did in Acts of the Apostles was get a new guy in, Matthias. So I'm including him with the 12. But 11 out of the 12 good boy apostles were martyred in literally the worst way possible. My boy John lived out a splendid life, but he got hit with the vision of the apocalypse like 3 or 4 times just to make sure he was writing it all down. So maybe that's not so good. But like all the other apostles, like Saint Sebastian, he was dog. He was tied to a tree and used for target practice by the Roman soldiers with arrows.
Sheesh.
Survived. Came in and was like, knock it off. You cannot do this to people. You guys are being bad boys. So then they beat him to death.
Damn.
And he died. That's one of them. Peter was crucified upside down. Guys, if you see an upside down cross, that's not satanic. That's St. Peter's cross, dude. Tell him thank you for recognizing the contributions to the church that St. Peter, first pope, gave us. But yeah, he was crucified upside down because they were going to crucify him, and he's like, I do not deserve to die in the same way as my Lord.
Same way as Jesus, yeah.
And then St. Andrew, also crucified, but on an X for the same reason.
Mm-hmm.
You gave him a little sideways dangle. St. Bartholomew, there's a statue in Rome of the flayed man. That's St. Bartholomew. They literally peeled his skin off of him, and he was like, thank you. You know, he was chill during the whole thing.
Damn.
St. Lawrence, not one of the original apostles, but one of the earliest deacons, was burned alive, and he's the patron saint of like barbecue chefs and comedians, because they're literally roasting him on a grill, and he's like, turn me over, I'm done on this side.
Yeah.
And he got killed. The reason he got killed was silly too, because you know, the Roman army or whatever was like, listen, you got to give us your money, you know, your church is too wealthy or whatever. And he's like, you want the wealth of my church? Okay. And then he's like, be here tomorrow at the same time. And then the like Roman soldiers come in, and there's just a bunch of people, and he's like, this is the wealth of the church. And they're like, all right, come with us, dude. We're gonna put you in a smoker at $2.59 for 18 hours, dude. You're gonna become a Bussy's brisket sandwich.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, all these people getting killed in literally like worse than saw trap ways, and it's like, for something that was like
not real
to make money or to gain power and influence. What power and influence are these guys gaining as they are like constantly being shipwrecked?
Well, also didn't a lot
ending
of them
up getting beheaded?
Didn't a lot of those guys live like very like monk-like lives?
Yeah,
you know, like
they
like
rejected,
owned no possessions and like no like worldly,
no wives, no nothing.
Yeah, it's like what are they doing? You know?
What are they gaining from this lie? You know?
Yeah,
literally nothing except eternal salvation, because it's not a lie.
True.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, if you want inspiration, just look at how the early martyrs and early saints had it. I mean, literally, like the first 30 popes did not last like a year each. They were all like immediately killed. Because back in the day, dude, it was like, you're Christian, you're getting slaughtered immediately.
Bro.
So they're like, oh, you're in charge? Cool, come with us.
Bro, that's tough.
Bad at every time. Super tough. Yeah.
That's bad.
And then, I forget his name. I'm a bad boy for that. But there's one saint. He was like 12 years old, saint and martyr. Because back in the day, when you were a Christian and put in prison, usually it was the deacon's job to administer you like Holy Communion. And I carry it in the special case. But they're like, the going's too hot. You got to do this, Mr. Kid, you know, whatever. And he's like, all right, chill. And then he was discovered and then beat to death, and he wouldn't give them the host. So it's like, all right, all these guys are dying just for the belief in God. All right, cool. This kid died like, you know, in whatever, like in 400, you know, for the sake of the Eucharist. That's probably real too then, because it's like this is the issue with the sola scriptura Bible only things is. So Jesus was alive from 0 to like 33 AD. The Bible finally compiled in like 370.
Yeah.
What are we doing in between then? And then what are we doing from there to now? You know, you're missing out on all of the voluminous, excellent works of all of the early church fathers and everything. But yeah, man, you gotta believe at the end of the day.
You gotta believe, bro. That's what this podcast is all about.
Dude, we hit the Warhammer 40K. We hit. Dude, if any of you listening are atheists, knock it off. Start researching. Just pick like a random, like early church martyr and read about his life and see what he had to deal with.
Or pick like any, not any famous scientist, I guess, but like Isaac Newton. He's like, yeah, God exists 100%.
Yeah, a lot of the like early like scientific discoveries and everything were made by, you know, Christians, you know, people who believed in God, and they're like, because religion and science cannot be enemies, because for the longest time they were
the only people that were doing
the
scientific
same thing.
stuff. Yeah,
because back in the day, the only people who were literate were like people in the church, so they're doing all the science for you and everything. But
yeah, well, it's also you use the most basic of math and it's all Newtonian. Not the most basic of math. The most fundamental math is like Newtonian physics. Newton made calculus. Like, it's like, okay, so every advanced thing that we use for like modern day manufacturing, modern day like science, at least like mechanical wise, math wise, was made by all these guys who like believed in God. You know, it's like, okay, well, that's kind of nice.
Now all of our scientists are like,
vaccine.
life has no meaning. I have a mosquito farm. Don't look into it. My name is Bill Gates or something.
Dude, I was listening to a documentary about the ticks.
The ticks?
The other day.
The what is it? The red
Lyme
meat
disease.
allergy one? Oh, Lyme disease.
Yeah, well, like they would infect ticks with like with Lyme disease and drop them in like numerous amounts and just like bioweapon areas like in America.
Yeah,
it's crazy
for sure,
bro. That's fucking crazy.
No problem.
Well, like that's we'll move from this quick, but I'm like, I saw a post that was like, you know, your grandfather didn't like walk through the forest and wasn't like afraid of getting a tick on him. And it's like, oh shit, you know, like that's
getting nasty.
But now, bro, that shit's everywhere.
Yeah, and
Bro,
they keep coming from the north.
Antivirus is on that shit.
Antivirus. Guys, you know what today is?
What's
It's
that?
the anniversary of the Demon Core incident. Are you familiar?
I think I've heard of it.
Yeah. So like, we nuked Japan twice. Nice, whatever. And we were gonna nuke them a third time.
Very tragic.
And then they surrendered like 2 days before, and we're like, all right, whatever, we'll do science with this core. And so they were trying to study I was reading the Wikipedia article, so obviously I'm very well versed in the subject. But they were trying to experiment like getting to the limit of supercriticality, and I guess criticality is the point in like the nuclear reaction where it's completely self-sustaining, and that's where you get like the runaway. It's that the implosion.
Yeah.
They're like, how can we edge this thing, basically? So the first one, yeah, literally. So they had the core, and then they're just stacking. Oh, I forget what metal. It wasn't graphite, but sure, whatever. It was graphite.
Yeah.
They're stacking in like Lincoln log
Are you
bricks.
talking about the tubes that like popped up or no?
No. Those were graphite rods in Chernobyl, but they were using, you know, whatever metal blocks around it in like a Lincoln log fashion, and this is literally just on a table.
Yeah.
Just getting more and more reflective, and he's like writing down. He's like, all right, this is doing this, and he's like, oops, and he dropped one, and it hit it. And because it came in direct contact with the core, it hit that supercriticality. But I don't understand nuclear fission at all, because it hit the supercriticality point, but it didn't detonate.
Yeah.
It just got to the point where it produced that massive amount of energy. I think that's what the core does in a nuclear bomb, but I think there's stuff that is the actual explodey bits. The core is just what feeds it, because it puts it...
Whatever it is.
But it just went like... flash of blue light, and he's like, all right, cool. And then he died in 9 days from acute radiation poisoning.
Oh, fuck.
And then he's like, you know, whatever, they die. And then they're like, all right, more science with this thing. We have developed a better way to do it. We're not going to like build Lincoln log bricks around it. We'll use shims. So they had like the core enclosed in the bottom with that material, and then they had a top dome that would fit perfectly on it. Then they had different shims that you would insert. And then they're like, all right. Then there's this one dude who's like a cowboy, nuclear scientist.
Yeah.
He's wearing the blue jeans. He's wearing the boots.
Yeah.
He's doing public demonstrations to other scientists of how cool he is. And he's like, he's done experiments like 15 times. And he's like, shims.
Bro.
I use a flathead screwdriver. So he's like twisting it to like, because you know the thin part of the blade, he'll twist it and be like, all right, you see that? And then you go flat, and then it's like, ooh, so close, you know? Whatever. And you'll never imagine what happens, you know? The screwdriver slips out, and it goes, ding, blue light. Oh, dead in 9 days. And,
wait, was it just him, or did he kill like everybody else that was watching? Or
they all died mostly of cancer, but like 20
God,
years later. Because apparently the way he was standing, he got like the full brunt of it and just basically liquefied his organs.
What a hero.
Yeah, and he instantly realized what he had done. So like he did that. He did the thing, it fell, and he's like, blue light, and then he like grabbed it with his bare hand and like very severely burned it because of the energy, and like flipped the top part off so it wouldn't stay like in that supercriticality.
Yeah.
And he turned around and he's like, well, that's it. Because, he's like the leading nuclear scientist. He understands what he just did. And he had everybody take a piece of chalk and mark on the ground where they were standing so that they could calculate basically how screwed everyone was. But yeah,
shit.
I think even the security guard who was like 500 yards away ended up dying of cancer also.
That's crazy, bro.
But one of the survivors of that second Demon Core incident developed the technology to do the same experiments, but using like robotics and cameras.
Yeah.
So you're not just on a table wearing jeans with a screwdriver. Crap.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah. So, I mean, this podcast is going to be released late tonight, so maybe
this bitch is long.
It would be better to.
You could probably split the thing in half.
Never, dude. But I'm just saying, there's no point in announcing it's a day when it's already 7:50. This podcast is probably going out at like 9, so no one's going to listen to it and be like, oh. I don't know how many people are waiting on these drops. But based on the analytics, it looks like most people are coming in the day after, which is reasonable.
Oh, that's nice. How many people is watching?
49 in the past 30 days, which is pretty good because we haven't been uploading for 30 days.
That's good. And I haven't been posting it, so...
True.
It's just been
you need to start...
I guess I'm posting it, bro.
You should put it on Instagram, too, because I deleted Instagram. Put it on your story.
Okay, yeah, I should.
Soon. Yeah.
I could.
Like Xavier said, we've talked a lot, so we should probably stop. Guys, Hotcast.
Hotcast. We're Warhammer Cast. Warhammer Cast. Catholic Cast. Demon Cast.
Demon Core, yeah.
Praise be to the Lord.
Gloria Patri et Filii et Spiritui Sancto. Guys, we might... I think we maybe have a guest. I don't know. I don't want to say the name because I want to tease it as much as possible. Yeah. It's either this weekend on Sunday or maybe a different weekend, some holiday weekend. But
fire.
You don't need to know that right now. You just need to get excited. So guys, get excited. Bro. And we'll see you guys in the next one.